In this video, I want to take you guys through the top 10 upcoming Nintendo Switch games for the month of June, so let's just get right into it. First of all, we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. This dropped on other platforms a while back, but now it finally makes the transition to the Nintendo Switch. To take it on the go is going to be awesome, and if you have yet to play Pro Skater 1 and 2 in this remake form, you may have played it back in the day, and it's one of the more iconic skateboarding games of all time, and it's nice to see it come to the Nintendo Switch. Really, this should have been available on all platforms from the get-go because this is an iconic franchise and people remember it very fondly. Now, we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 coming to the Switch on June 25th. Hopefully, this paves the way for something like Skate to come to the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, this one being published by Activision, Skate is going to be published by EA, and who knows the status of that. But hey, Skate 2 on Nintendo Switch, that would sell incredibly well. But for now, we can be excited for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Next up, we have Sky Children of the Light. This will be dropping sometime in June 2021. We don't have an official release date, but it notes from the award-winning creators behind the excellent Journey 2013 Game of the Year by some outlets and the highly acclaimed Flower comes a groundbreaking social adventure that is set to warm your hearts. Welcome to the enchanting world of Sky, a beautifully animated kingdom waiting to be explored by you and your loved ones. In Sky, we arrive as the Children of the Light, spreading hope through the desolate kingdom to return fallen stars to their consolations. In the Kingdom of Sky, you can soar and explore 7 dreamlike realms to uncover the mystery, encounter and socialize with like-minded players from around the world. Feel free to express yourself with a delightful selection of character customizations. Team up with others to adventure into darker realms, save spirits, and uncover ancient treasures. Gift candles of light to share appreciation and grow friendships. Enjoy a unique musical experience and create harmonies together, and join an ever-expanding world with new upcoming attractions, including seasonal events and expansion of realms. Visually, the game looks great, and it's definitely reminiscent to some of their other titles, Journey and Flower, obviously. Very, very artistic games. It doesn't slap you in the face with the narrative, but then it kind of comes together, and you start understanding the thematics of those games. Hopefully, Sky Children of Light will offer something similar. Again, it will be dropping sometime in June of 2021 on the Nintendo Switch. Next up, we have Fallen Knight. Fallen Knight is going to be a game that if you're a fan of 2D action titles like, let's say, a Mega Man, this is going to be right up your alley. It notes, take the role of an elite knight and battle your way through action-packed levels with intense sword-fighting gameplay in this neo-classic side-scrolling action platformer. Save the city from a deadly terrorist organization hell-bent on exposing the truth you were sworn to protect. The game doesn't, reinvent the wheel necessarily based on what we're looking at, but if it's a quality action platformer, really, those games are something that people always enjoy, at least people that are into that genre. And in the game, you'll take on the role of Lancelot, the 49th in a futuristic setting, facing off against 6 unique enemy heroes with a dark past of their own. Expect a Dark Souls-esque challenging experience coupled with a fast-paced sword action gameplay that will punish gamers for every little mistake and reward generously with every key victory. Nostalgia-fueled platforming, and that's really one of the core elements of this game. It's a throwback to those platformers you played in yesteryear, and the game does contain multiple endings as well. Fallen Knight will be hitting the Nintendo Switch on June 23rd. Next up, we have Beasts of Maravilla Island. Now, Beasts of Maravilla Island is a 3D adventure game where you take on the role of a young wildlife photographer who traverses the island, its magical ecosystems to discover extraordinary creatures, learn their behaviors, and most importantly, photograph their majesty. This is scheduled to come out sometime in June of 21. Now, if you are interested in the game and you have a PC, you don't even need a high-end PC, you can download the demo and play it that way if you want a little bit of a taste of the game. But the game itself looks like more of a tranquil exploration game, a little bit of a chill game, but it is going to be something that you could kind of just, if you're tired of playing super challenging games, hardcore titles, or anything like that, I feel like this is one that you can just chill out and play and enjoy yourself in. It is scheduled for release sometime in June of this year. Next up, we have Legend of Mana Remastered. Now, this is coming to the Nintendo Switch on June 24th, and stepping into the shoes of the protagonist, players will embark on a journey to find the mystical mana tree seen in a dream, only to discover that the world map is empty. Throughout their adventure, they will acquire special artifacts which can be placed on the map to bring towns and dungeons to life via the land creation system. You can progress through the story in different ways based on the choices you make, offering a more personal and unique gameplay experience. Legend of Mana will come remastered with new visuals and a rearranged soundtrack, and the Ring Ring Land mini-game, which will be available to the West for the first time. The Mana franchise has, of course, been gaining some steam over the last few years. Square Enix is bringing it back with Legend of Mana Remastered, and again, it's out June 24th. Next up, we have Dariusburst, another Chronicle EX+. It's now 10 years since the original version of the original team, which is highly motivated, is still proudly working on this version. The Dariusburst series started all the way back in 09, and now it's coming to the Nintendo Switch in the form of Dariusburst, another Chronicle EX+. If you're a fan of shoot-'em-ups, this is going to be something that is going to be right up your alley. Shoot-'em-ups on the Nintendo Switch are obviously aplenty, so you need to drop a good one if you do plan to make an impact, but Dariusburst, another Chronicle EX+, will be out on June 11th. Next up, here's one I know a lot of people are excited about. Ninja Gaiden The Master Collection will be dropping June 10th. This includes Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, as well as Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3 Razor's Edge. So these are the Sigma variations of the game, so that might disappoint some people. However, just to have Ninja Gaiden on the Nintendo Switch is going to be fantastic. Obviously, we saw the release of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3, or Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, I should say, on the Nintendo Wii U back in, I believe, 2013, 2014, around that time. But now we're getting the Master Collection, all 3 games in one package, and this is going to be something nice to check out. I've been a big fan of Ninja Gaiden for a long time. However, there's no secret that the original Ninja Gaiden Black, so to speak, hasn't aged all too well, but, you know, they're still very enjoyable action-oriented titles, and I think just having them and having access to them, really, because they're kind of hard to play these days. You know, if you have an Xbox One or an Xbox Series, you can play them through backwards compatibility, but otherwise they're not playable on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, and on the Nintendo Switch we weren't able to play them. But the Master Collection is going to allow an accessible option for a lot of people, so that's going to be exciting to have that as an avenue to play Ninja Gaiden The Master Collection. Next up, we have RICO London. Now, this is coming to pretty much every platform, and RICO London is a cooperative shooter that, you know, it's not getting a ton of buzz right now, but it's set in London, New Year's Eve 1999. While everyone is getting ready to party, the Metropolitan Police are working overtime. Detective Inspector Redfern finds herself at the scene of an emerging arms trade at the foot of a high-rise tower. Without the permission of her superior or support of backup, Redfern prepares to kick off the new millennium with a bang. RICO London is another title that does not have a release date at this point, but it is scheduled to drop sometime in June of this year. Next up, here's one JRPG fans are going to be all over. Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny is dropping June 29th. Disgaea has been one of those long-running strategy JRPG franchises, and now Disgaea 6 will be coming to the Nintendo Switch, and surprisingly, Disgaea 6 is coming to the Switch first. Disgaea, for a long time, more associated with PlayStation. I think that's fair to say. We saw Disgaea 1 and 2 on the PS2, Disgaea 3 and 4 on the PS3, Disgaea 5 on the PlayStation 4, so Disgaea 6 seeing a release right off the rip on Switch, I find a little bit surprising, but nevertheless, a strategy JRPG that I think a lot of people are going to end up enjoying, and if you've been a fan of Disgaea for a long time, you're probably going to enjoy this. It doesn't reinvent the wheel visually, of course. These games visually have always kept the same formula, but content-wise, we're talking about a game that you can spend tons of hours on, and from that standpoint, it's going to be well worth your $60. And lastly, the Destroy All Humans remake finally hits the Nintendo Switch on June 29th, another super iconic game, so excited to see this remake also come to the Nintendo Switch. Took a little bit longer than it should have, much like the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake, but at the very least, we're getting Destroy All Humans on the Nintendo Switch, and I think it's going to be something that a lot of people get behind. Destroy All Humans was never like a perfect game, but hey, it was a quirky game, it was an enjoyable game, it was a game you can jump in and just play and have a good time with, and I think it's going to offer a similar level of enjoyability on the Nintendo Switch, dropping June 29th. And that's going to wrap up this one. Again, come June, a lot of exciting titles coming to the Nintendo Switch. That's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.